remember the timing.
It's
In
the end of April, like the last week of April, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
Give me a call, we'll talk.
Okay, fair enough. The other thing, just as far as distribution of packets, are you okay, well, when you get all the items that were on the agenda in
That
your
part
packet? The electronic distribution, that works okay for the Friday?
I'm fine with it.
I'm completely
I'm
fine
getting
with
better
it.
with it all the time. I'm fine with it.
I
My
haven't,
granddaughter turns it on for me.
And I get it on my tablet now, but I don't get it on my phone, so I'm halfway there.
we'll have to resolve that.
I have that written down.
I haven't been putting the packets you have in your binders here, seemed like a little bit of extra work, but I didn't actually ask if everybody was fond of the binders or.
Well,
I'm okay with this.
yeah, I am too. As long as we have the information here, I don't care. It doesn't have to be in the binder.
I'm fine with it.
I quit using a binder about 1.5 years ago because I could flip through paper a lot faster than I could flip through the binder.
If it helps you, so we don't have things missing, that's a different
No, that
discussion.
doesn't have anything to do
Okay,
with
okay.
that. Well, then, okay, I'll keep
And
it the way it's been,
Yeah.
trying to
No,
get
it's
you
been
the
great.
agenda out in a draft form, knowing it could get tweaked. And then I'll get you the agenda items as soon as possible too. That's part of the value of the electronic, so
Okay.
we'll keep it like it was this past time before.
Very good. Anything else, Jack?
That was all I had.
Anybody else have any questions or comments?
I was wanting to pursue or follow up on our discussion of the aggregation. You were gonna talk with Springboro and everybody.
They don't seem to, actually, I didn't talk to Chris yet. I called her a couple times but seems to be some resistance over there for some reason. I'm not sure, so that's why I need to talk to her. I haven't given up on her.
Chris had called me
Did she?
late last week or
Okay,
the
good.
middle of last week, because I had called and asked her about it.
What'd she say?
Her reaction the first time was not interested. I'd had a council person or two in the past who were very strongly opposed to it.
I strongly opposed that. They said if you try that you're gonna get fired.
Yeah, that's what Chris said to me. That person is not on council anymore,
Good.
and so she had kind of run it up the flagpole a little bit, and with it being an election year, especially with the mayor being in an election year, didn't want to have anything to do with it being on the ballot.
I know what I got, but I never didn't get that out of her mouth yet.
And it saves money, and so
I-
it's bad for elections?
I'm trying to figure out how that would be a downside.
I
I mean,
kinda-
the piece I see, as we discussed before, is certain people don't want government touching anything they're doing, and I get that. But this is an opportunity for us to show our community that we're trying to save them money.
They don't have.
And it's just like anything else, in any business that you're in, or in any part of the world, if the more you buy, the cheaper the price. And it's as simple as that. I mean, you can take all the rest of it out.
The residents are part of our township.
Right.
Would they be included in our aggregation, whether or not?
I'm gonna say no.
Not for that, I don't believe.
Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think it would work that way.
I don't think so either, it would be.
Because there's a
Well, you're over 4 now.
Yeah, no kidding.
The last time I'll be here, thanks. It's a pleasure knowing you all.
Hope you like Louisville.
Yeah, right.
Send down AAA.
One of the things that I would be willing to do, I talked to 2 other townships, and I think there needs to be education. The trustees had always talked about it, and we don't want to do that, and I took 2 minutes to explain, and they said, well, that makes sense. I'd be happy to go to the county association and share, and I'd be happy to go to our neighbors, our neighboring townships, and visit one of their board meetings, and in time for comments, take 2 minutes and say, hey, we kind of think this might be a smart thing to do, and explain it, and I think it's hard to find too many bad things about it.
Yeah, the only, I've looked at it backwards and forwards, and the only downside I see is just that certain amount of the population that
Well, it
doesn't
has
want
to
it.
go on the ballot.
Right.
You have to make a decision.
Sure, sure. And
You know, it's
that's all-
interesting that all the townships are gonna be in the same spot in March. And I would think Neil would welcome the opportunity to allow somebody to discuss this for 5 minutes. And you hit all the fish in the same barrel at the same time.
That's very true.
But what are we gonna, are we going there to promote the idea to the other townships that they are gonna say that you need to put something on the ballot?
I think you educate them and see if, and then you can sell it to the aggregate that way. If you can get Wayne and Turtle Creek, which touch, and Franklin that touch Clearcreek Township, then if the city of Springbrook doesn't wanna participate, I mean, the residents lose out, I get that, and that's too bad.
It's still there for.
But it's still their choice, we can't do anything about them. But if we can make our pot bigger by getting Wayne and Turtle Creek involved.
And I'll take a stab at the mayor, because I'm running too, and I don't see it as a downside at all.
I'm gonna guess they had something negative with when it began many years ago, somebody coming and trying to,
My guess is they had some pushback when they went when they did the trash service. That would be my guess.
yeah,
Because,
something's
but
happened in
that's
the
different.
past.
I mean, that's totally different.
Yeah, that's a long time ago, it didn't have to go on the ballot either.
I did look into the cost with the Board of Elections on what this would cost. And basically, I'm told that it's cost somewhere between $600 and $1,000 per precinct. We have 28 precincts. So you can do the math on, depending on how much is on the ballot, is what it would cost.
During a
us.
general election, it would cost,
For a November election, it'll cost somewhere between $600 and $1,000 per precinct.
So it's not cheap.
Actually, he said it could cost us upward to $1,600 a precinct. He said, but in November you won't have that, so just to be safe,
Then
$600.
we talk to the aggregators and see what they can cough up.
I would say that the reason why we're getting pushback is because of relationships with Duke Energy and DP&L telling people that you don't wanna do this. I mean, you've gotta see, who does it hurt if we do this, and those are the people that it would hurt.
Because they've got both.
That's a good point. And they do have a strong relationship with the city.
But if it were, okay, I'm thinking precincts.
Well, if you think it will do some good to try to talk to the surrounding townships, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, that's for sure. Didn't the Hamilton Township do that? And,
Yep.
you know,
You live in.
I'm a resident.
oh, that's right, you,
Yep.
you know.
gas and electric, or gas, or electric?
Both, gas and electric.
They're aggregating the price now?
Well, electric I know for sure. Gas I don't know for sure because we're electric.
I wonder if it would help if, before we start talking to the other townships, that talk to them and see, you know, what was the true savings? A township your size, which is pretty substantial, but
If I may, Mr. Wade, so one of the other villages that I represent is Silverton, is going through this process right now, went through the election in November. And they just got their bids back and they're saving about 5 cents a kilowatt hour. So, that was the bid recently.
What's the starting price? Is it at 5% or?
Good question. And there you were talking, you're only talking about 2,000 households roughly. So, and a population of 4788.
don't know what the starting.
Yeah.
kilowatt hour
Oh, we can
is.
find that.
The Duke is anywhere from right around 6 cents to, you might be high sixes, it depends on your usage. That's the regulated rate. The prices you can get from a supplier on electric, like open market doing a deal, are right around that 6 cent. So the savings aren't huge anymore. That's why it would be great if you got several townships. And part of the problem in Hamilton County doing that is everybody's on some program, so you're your termination dates are all over the place. But with nobody having an aggregated program in place, you could potentially get a lot of new households that would make it very appealing to a Duke or a DP&L. But the savings on electric aren't what they were 5, 6 years ago. You know, they were dropping pretty good. And I don't know how many people have gas service. Probably a lot of propane and not natural gas, but I don't know.
The city has natural gas, most of the town, very, very few people in the township have natural gas.
Yeah, so
It's a
you have
electric
natural
issue.
gas and electric is what you have, the two things you aggregate for.
I think we should talk to Hampton Township, see what kind of information you can get out, see how their rate changed. And then, a good place to clean that up would be at the county engineer's office. Or annual meeting. Certainly, and everybody, pretty much agree. There's usually not a township that doesn't go.
That's March 12th.
So we don't have that on my calendar.
I got it laying on my desk is the only reason I remember. We got letters this year.
I don't know if I know how to get to March.
You want me to look at it?
I'll call Sophie.
I was just sitting here thinking he's gonna pull out that black book. His calendar book, he's gone IT on us.
I
Palmer?
could do that.
Right.
It's in here.
Oh, I like what you're doing. Stick with what you're doing.
All right, and do you think it's the 12th or Thursday night?
I believe so. I haven't put it in my calendar yet, but I believe that's what
Yeah, I
it
think it's
is.
the 12th. The 11th is the state of the county luncheon.
Well, if it's 12th, I would put it in the calendar.
I have the letter in my office.
Well, anyway, it'd be a good thing to shoot for that, and I know Neil was calling. Let us do whatever you want to do, I'm sure. Maybe we'll
Short.
take part of his time.
This is being recorded.
I know, take part of his time, if he would yield some of his time. at this
Shorten
speech.
the beet juice conversation.
All right. Will you check with Hampton Township and give us a little information on what kind of percent they changed or what they?
Yeah,
That'd be good. I don't know if we need much more than that. I think that's enough to sell them. Okay, great. Let us know if you will.
okay.
Okay. Anything else, Jack?
No, sir.
Anybody have anything else, any comments, questions? Okay, is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Mearsclaw?
Yeah.
Mr. Gabbard?
Yeah.
Mr. Wade?
Hey.
Yeah, I didn't know. I didn't know.